I'd like to talk with you for a few minutes about why we have student data forms. The Pathway Service Learning Program is federally funded from the U.S. Department of Education through a program called Talent Search. This program requires us to collect data in order to prove that we are serving our students. Middle and high school students who receive tutoring through this program are part of the Talent Search program. The data is used to determine the impact of our program on our communities. So, how do you ask students to complete a data form? We recommend that you ask the teacher within the first week or two of tutoring, if you can use class time, to explain and complete the student data form. In a few minutes, we're going to walk through how you can instruct students to complete specific sections in class before they take it home to parents. It also helps if you create incentive for students to complete and submit the student data form. Sometimes teachers are willing to give a homework slip or create extra credit points in their grade book. Candy, donuts, and treats always work too. If a student is concerned about the information that is on the student data form, please remind them that this data is confidential and is locked up in an office. We do not send names of students, addresses, or other personal information, and we use this data in aggregated pie chart and graph-like reports that are sent with our grant reviews. So what does the student data form look like, and what are some tips on how you can get this completed efficiently and quickly? Something that you can do is you can complete parts of the form before you turn it in to the teacher and ask to get the form filled out by your students. The sections in orange are areas that you can complete ahead of time. Students are going to need to complete the majority of the form. Middle school and high school students typically can complete almost all of the areas in green. It is important that you chunk the instruction of how to fill out this form. I like to start with the very beginning and explain what the form is about and have the student fill out the remaining information on the top line, including student ID. I then ask them if they have any questions. The second step is to have them fill out their information. I typically ask them to fill out first name through the section that asks if they've participated in additional outreach programs. If they are unsure if they have participated in a program, or if they are unsure if they are an ELD or ESL student, the proper selection would be no. Again, after completing this section, I would pause and answer questions. I would also walk around the room and make sure that students have completed the form to this point. The third section is a little trickier. Sometimes students are able to fill out the parent or guardian information. These are ranges as far as income and oftentimes are constantly changing in households. When they think about how many people live in their house, they want to count all people. They may or may not know the level of education completed by the parent or guardian that they live with. So this area is also in yellow, as parents may need to go back in and complete this part of the form. If there is not a second parent or guardian in the household, they would simply leave that section blank. They are almost done with the form. Again, during this time, I will be walking around, asking and answering questions, and making sure that students are completing the form. At the bottom, there is a lot of green area that students can continue to fill out. They can sign and date it themselves. They can write the name of their parent and create a date. They can also enter a phone number and email if they know it for the parent. All that is left for the parent or guardian to complete is the signature and any information that needs to be filled in that third section. It is very important that you, as the staff member, complete the bottom section with your name, the teacher you are working with, and the period in which that student is your student. The Spanish form is on the back for students who feel more comfortable completing this form in Spanish. That was a lot of information. We are always happy to help you with the student data form. We are happy to suggest ideas to get students to complete the form and how to answer some of those difficult questions that may come up. Please make sure that you handle student data forms early in the semester so that you can get all 25 forms submitted. Thank you so much for being part of the Talent Search program.